Well, hello, Red Faction. So today, Bungie released the part three of this current episode, Echoes, and here's a trailer for it. Um, we're gonna kind of take a look at it, see everything, kind of give our thoughts, because the new story, the new fucking story stuff that we get drops tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna say I'm not interested in the weapon. The weapons that are coming, unless there's like an exotic one that gets released. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's one that we actually like to use, and not one that's just going to be stupidly broken, overpowered, and just changes the entire landscape of the current setting. There's also some stuff they talked about with PvP, which before we play the trailer, I kind of get into. Yes, I think it's good that custom games gives rewards out because it allows content creators to grab people from their community and just go and have fun. The issue that is going to happen is you're going to have people that are going to go, well, I'll just cheat and go into these lobbies and show like how good I am and everything. Um, they also did a Pathfinder change, and we'll get into that in a bit. Because in how, I mean, kind of why I think the whole Pathfinder thing is, it was good in theory, but it slowly became kind of like a whole other separate issue. There's some people that like it, there's some people that don't like it. The Pathfinder, I'll give my kind of thoughts and opinions on that. Um, so kind of here's my dilemma. Here's the problem that I have with um, the other part of the PvP thing. The reason why everything's so inflated right now, um, when it comes to PvP, and why it's like it's an issue in either sixes, threes, and everything else, is because the one thing that was like, oh, okay, well, this is kind of an issue. Let's make it even worse by giving them the ability to use other stuff with it as well. Do I think Threaded Spectre was a good, like, kind of idea for, like, how a hunter plays? Yes, it is. Clearly it is. But it started really becoming a problem towards the end of Lightfall in terms of PvP, because people could just, I have a dodge. Okay, run away for a little bit, come back, kind of take everyone's aim. Oh, it disappeared. Let me pop another one. And because, how class abilities work, how it's tied to each class as having, hunters being mobility, titans being resilience, and warlocks being recovery, it doesn't lead to a lot of fun gameplay, especially when you can have a second charge or something that is is quote unquote one of your highest stats. I think Threaded Spectre is a problem because it's a radar thing as well. If it just like, in the fact that it takes your aim, it acts like a extra person. And when you got, hunters, sorry to say this, you guys do deserve good stuff, but stuff that doesn't make you the top percentile in a PvP mode that is available to quote unquote everyone. When you got, 56% of the player base is a hunter on this certain subclass, and you all know that a majority of them are running Storm's Edge, a smoke bomb, a swarm grenade, and a Threaded Spectre. Yes, it plays into your power fantasy of being this, like, kind of aggressive, but also, like, can get out of things fast, and a trickster in the sense. It doesn't lead to a lot of fun. And I know why some content creators that do play hunters kind of don't use the build. You're like, oh yeah, this build was fun, but it's like not what I want to use in everyday life. Well, people will try your build and then they go, yes, this is amazing. It's kind of why I don't really do build videos, but I'm also not the best PvP player. I'm not the best at, PvE stuff and everything, and I'll admit that. I mean, shit, I know I'm not. There's way better people out there than me. But my biggest issue is when I do want to play PvP, when I do want to do, when I want to do trials, or when I want to do comp, or just have fun in quick play or in a 3v3, I don't feel like I get to have that amount of fun. Just because things that should be fun aren't fun. Now, let's talk about Pathfinder. Let's stop talking about PvP. I don't want to make this a whole thing. It's already 6 minutes in, and we have barely watched the trailer yet. Literally, we're just staring at this giant hand, and I'm like, you touch me, I'm going to hit you with a needle storm. Now, let's talk about the Pathfinder change. Okay? And I'd show it and everything, but then I have to go through this whole thing and find it. And basically what they're doing is the Pathfinder is going to be how it currently is. It's a mix of everything. There's Gambit stuff, there's Crucible stuff, and there's Vanguard stuff. And now they're all going to be broken into they'll all be considered one Pathfinder. But when you open it, you don't have to go find the one you're looking for, which is like a quality of life update. But I feel like the problem you're going to have now is before it was well, you can either go into Vanguard and do Vanguard stuff and use a certain weapon, get a certain amount of kills, whatever, and then go to Crucible and whatever, and it's there was a line of Gambit stuff. It was yeah, you should probably just go play Gambit. Because here's the thing, as much as Gambit gets shit on, and it gets shit on, and it gets shit on a lot, and I feel like with the Pathfinder, it's going to get shit on even more. You're not going to have a game mode that is as fun as what Gambit can be, purely for the fact that there's nothing new being added to it. We got the Lucent Hive, and we got a new map, and we got the, Shadow Legion. It's yeah, cool, that's fine. Here's the issue. Onslaught will beat out Gambit 9 out of 10 times when it comes to fun, because there's no mode that gives better rewards. Gambit rewards suck. The PvP rewards, they're okay. I think Gambit, just generic Gambit weapons that are from previous seasons should only cost 2. And the Crucible ones will only cost 3 because, 1, people are going to play more PvP because there's so many modes you can do in PvP. You got regular control. You got the one rotator. You got Rumble. You got Comp that's always going to be there. Trials when Iron Banner's not up. You'll have a whole slew of other stuff. And now private matches too. So basically, PvP focus centric with PvE, and your hybrid, aka Gambit, just sits there. So this Pathfinder change kind of just said to everybody, just do Crucible or just do Vanguard and don't care about Gambit. And I feel like when you look at, stuff, if there's anyone that literally looked at what's in Gambit and what's being used compared to what's being used in any other game mode, you would see LMGs or linears, you would see scout rifles or bows. Gambit has this slew of mix and everything for a whole slew of different things, but those things don't work in the other game modes. And I know that's not how it's supposed to be, but to me it feels like you know, what's the point of chasing after Gambit rewards if you can't use it in other stuff and they're not good? Like, we got Breakneck. Okay, yeah, cool, we got Breakneck. What are we going to get next? Are we going to get, like, a special? No, we'll give you a bow. And then maybe we'll do a heavy next. I think the one thing every Gambit player is actually waiting for it to return, and this probably won't happen until, like, just before the quote-unquote new year of stuff for Destiny 2. Bygones. Bygones comes back, you're going to have people in Gambit. Because if you make it focused towards Gambit, people are going to do it. I mean, I don't see that many people using a Trust. And that was a Gambit weapon that everyone loved. Heck, I really hate the fact that during Season of the Deep, we got all the Gambit Prime weapons in a fucking PvE mode. Because you can still earn those weapons in, you know, Reckoning and, you know, of course, Gambit. But you had a reason with Reckoning to go into Gambit. Oh, it's like, oh, well, I don't have enough stuff for this. I'll just play Gambit for a little bit, get what I need, go to Reckoning. Rinse and repeat. There was a reason there was uptime in players in Gambit. And then it's like, you had Gambit Prime, you had, you know, the stuff for the Reckoning. And then you're like, oh, let's take all that out. But PvP still got stuff. They may have lost maps, but they're slowly getting those maps back and new maps. Crucible, they either get a battleground or they get 1 or 2 new strikes. And then, you know, you have Onslaught now. And you have Nightfalls that will unlock. Like, there's things to do in them. Gambit went from being, there's stuff to do, to, oh, there's very little to do, to, oh, there's, like, nothing to do. I'll play it because I don't want to get my ass stomped in PvP by a bunch of prismatic hunters running threaded specters, swarm grenades, and smoke bombs. All using, you know, one build and having a high mobility and a high grenade and a high fucking all this other stuff. All using 6 coyote to get another dodge, so they have another threaded specter. That then will use outreach or bomber to get, you know, their grenade or their smoke back. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it, but let's watch this trailer. Sorry for the little rant at the start. I mean, this is like almost 15 minutes long. But I had to get that off my chest now that I was like, I'm seeing everything being discussed.
The threat is serious and imminent.
Oh, look, another pyramid. Oh, a new exotic mission. Wait, what? A special ammo void auto rifle? So we're getting we're getting another special ammo weapon. But this time it's an auto rifle. Huh? Oh. Oh, it's like a frickin', it's a wyvern shot. Don't care about that. There's a better, you know, void trace rifle. New artifact perks.
Invitation. It's not too late to accept.
Okay. So let's see. We get a new exotic mission, it's called Encore. And when we think about Encore, how this is gonna be, So it's clearly inspired by Vex technology because it fires basically it's a slow firing one, so that would make it fall under what a God, let me find a slow firing auto rifle. Um, a high impact frame. So it'd be like, Herod C or or False Promises. Um, anything that kind of fires slowly. Is my thoughts on it, because it's a special, so it has to be like a high impact frame. Um, and it's a void one too, so okay, you got a void auto rifle. Um, so it's like you have choices. Okay.
The conductor said.
I like how the only thing they told you about, the what was it called? Choir of One. Is it's a special one. Um, I think like the perk is going to have to be something like kind of good to make, one, you want to use a void special auto rifle.
The conductor 6 through similar.
But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I don't really care much about the weapons. Um, new exotic mission, the weapon, Choir of One. It's just going to be, it's just going to be very interesting to see how this next part of the act goes, especially because, when they do exotic missions, 9 times out of 10, you can craft the weapon, and you have to go for parts and everything to get it. Unless this is going to be how it'll, some are where it's like just play the mission, get it, and you're done. But considering there's like what? They do 3 weeks of story, then you have like 3 weeks of, like nothing. I kind of don't see a lot of reasoning behind this. And a special auto rifle? And so basically this means, because when you take a look at, okay, this is going to be your special weapon, you're like, well, I can run a sidearm because now I have a special, and this is an auto rifle, so there's your range. Not perfect range, but it's a special and it's slow moving, so it'll probably be one where people will spam it down hallways and everything. So then that leaves you up to, use a pulse rifle, use a sidearm. Like if it doesn't have like good range, I think you're going to see like pulse rifles. If it does have good range and everything, sidearms, submachine guns, kind of hand cannons, that you'll hot swap to. Like, oh, I damaged them with this shot. Now let me pull up the hand cannon and just go. And it's an exotic weapon, so that takes an exotic slot off, which means you're left with kind of almost very limited options. Possibly. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about all this. If I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I'm kind of trying to make like a little fun build for myself, but it's kind of hard to do. Um, So I'm trying to look at like what I want to use in this like newer thing that's coming out. Does this have? No, it doesn't. Oh, it does have that. It has that. Okay. I don't know. I'm just trying to make a interesting build for this upcoming season and everything, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a lot of hope per se due to, you know, the state of everything that we're currently in. Because it honestly, it kind of just feels like, here's this, now go out and cause chaos. Like, to me, that just, like, yeah. So I'm kind of just, like, trying to think of what I want to run and use and everything else. And I'm not having a lot of, like, clarity with what I want to use. Due to, you know, things that are in the realm of possibility for this new season. But yeah, that's a little talk about stuff going on in Destiny right now, and then, you know, a look at the new special void auto rifle that fires wyvern shots. Can I see someone using, you know, a Devour build with this? I mean, with Prismatic? Yes. Will people do it? I have no idea. Because I don't know if people are going to use this as like a... Like, my feeling, like, when you make an auto rifle kind of esque thing, especially a special one, I feel like people might use it like as a fusion rifle, not so much as an auto rifle. So I think you'll see people running, you know, you'll get like hand cannons or pulses or scouts, and then someone's going to have, you know, this weapon out. That's my thoughts. I don't know though. But with that being said, Red Faction, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Check out the new story. If the exotic mission, whenever that drops, if it drops with it, we'll check it out. We'll see what goes on. If there's no exotic mission, we'll finish the story stuff, and then we're going to hop on over to another game we've been playing a lot of that I told you about yesterday on stream. If you missed it, if you missed the stream, why? Why'd you do that to me? But with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys have a great time. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Let's have some fun. We're just going to play games, relax, enjoy ourselves. But it might be a lot of hip-hopping between different games. We might do Destiny, then we'll go to Overwatch, and then we might do some ZZZ or some Genshin. Because there's some Genshin stuff that got uploaded that I could do. I could do a whole thing with that. I don't know. Let me know. On Twitter. And then we'll see what we do. I'll see what we do after we're done with our Overwatch stuff. Like, do we do Genshin? Do we do some ZZZ? Do we come back to Destiny and just try to, you know, play PvP? I don't know. Who knows? But with that being said, see you guys later. Have a good one. And be sure, as you know, you are a member of the Order. You're the Red Faction, okay? You know what to do. You gotta bring order through disorder. And the only way we do that is, well, be absolutely bonkers with everything that you do. So, see y'all.